Hey guys, it's CJ here, and today I wanted to do something that I've always wanted to do, which is a Draw My Life video, and now I have the opportunity to do that. So I guess we should start with when I was born. I was born November 12th, 1995, which I guess is pretty straightforward and uninteresting. According to my mom, I was the heaviest of her children. I weighed about 10 pounds coming out, and I had a very large head, as I still do, and I still get crap for that. Anyway, let's fast forward to some later years that matter. Most of my childhood was pretty cool. I spent a lot of time dressing up with my parents and playing and being a chubby little kid, and my mom used to always let us as in me and my little brother, she used to always let us dress up however we wanted so we could be creative. That's my beautiful picture of my mom. Yay! Anyway, but my mom always made sure that we had a creative outlet in some way so that we would be whoever we wanted to be when we got older. And then in the later years, when I was about 9, I started getting a little bit thinner, more stick-like this. My parents always fought. My dad was pretty angry a lot of the time. That's my angry dad face. But yeah, my parents fought a lot, and when I was about 9 years old, my parents decided to get divorced, which was not fun for anyone, I don't think, because when they got divorced, it was not pleasant. My mom left like a note for my dad saying goodbye, basically, and we went to my grandma's. We went to live with my grandma, or well, at my grandma's house. So that's my grandma's smiling condo. Beautiful, isn't it? I'm not artistically skilled. Anyway, so we lived there for probably a couple months, and then we moved out to a little place in the middle of nowhere called Unadilla. Ever heard of it? No? That's because it's in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, we lived out there, and my mom registered us to go to school in a little town nearby Unadilla, which was called Stockbridge. I didn't like it at all, because as soon as I got there, I was bullied pretty much all the time, basically for being the new kid in 5th grade, and all the other kids, they were not too nice to me. Someone called me a faggot once when I was 10 years old, and I never knew what that meant until I got older. In recent years, I've discovered that it's really not an insult, because there's nothing wrong with being gay. So, anywho, but yeah, I used to get made fun of a lot, and in middle school it only got worse because middle school kids are psychotic. Middle school was probably my least favorite time. Fuck middle school. 6th grade, I started getting a little bit chubby, so of course all the other douchey kids took their chance to make fun of me. It's me when I was fat. And kids, yeah, they were rough. They made fun of the fact that I was fat. They made fun of the fact that I actually had emotions. They made fun of everything about me, so I didn't like middle school. I never enjoyed it. When I was 12 in 7th grade, a girl told me I should kill myself. And for a long time, that really tore me up, even throughout high school. I used to sit home on my bed. That's my bed. I used to sit my chubby butt home on my bed thinking about, why does life even matter? Yes, everyone thinks I should just kill myself. So I was not a very happy kid. When I was little, I always had a very outgoing personality. Yay! I was always the most outgoing person you'd ever meet, and then middle school, all that bullying made me kind of lonely and sad, and not particularly talkative. Kind of made me a loner, because all the other kids were over here, doing whatever they were doing, talking about sports and trucks and whatever other things country kids talk about. I was always a loner. And then when 9th grade rolled around, I was just kind of content with being the loser, and my hair was super long at that point. I grew it out because I was an emo kid, I guess. I still got bullied a lot, and I did something that I regret, which was cutting. I started cutting in 9th grade, and That is something you should not do. So if ever you feel like cutting, don't do that. It's dumb. It's not worth it. At the end of 9th grade, I gave this one speech in my English class. It blew my teacher away, and she said, I finally see you're coming out of your shell. That was one of my favorite teachers ever, Mrs. Williams. She said, you're coming out of your shell. And I was really excited about that because I had always wanted to be myself. And then 10th grade rolled around. I was still pretty much sad all the time, but I was, at least at this point, I had a couple of friends, and I was happy about that, I was happy to have any friends at all. In October of 2010, I came out and claimed myself to be bisexual. You shouldn't do that in a small town full of religious people, because religious people frown upon homosexuality. And when you come out to a bunch of small town people, very few of them were very accepting. So I went through a lot of bullcrap for that. I remember one time I was at a track meeting, because I was in track one year, because my mom kept saying I should do sports even though I didn't want to, because I hate sports with a passion. One of my teammates beat me up. At first I thought it was just because I accidentally hit him in the face with a shoe, but then later I found out it was because of that whole bisexual thing, so that was pretty upsetting. December rolled around, and I was still pretty depressed and pretty outcasted, and December 8th of 2010, I wrote out a little note for my family saying that basically it said goodbye, because I wanted to kill myself. So I took a belt and hung it from a beam in my house and tried to jump off of a chair, which of course fell. And then at that point the belt snapped and then I hit the floor. And I did not die. And at the time I thought, damn it. But now, looking back on it, I'm glad that it didn't work, because now I get to do this, YouTube. So anyway, a couple days later after that, on December 10th actually, I went to a dance, believe it or not, even though I'm really bad at dancing. And there was a girl that I had this crush on that I had been chasing after. Well, not really chasing after, but I wanted to be with her, because she made me happy. God, I made her look so bad. Anyway, that night, I said, it was very awkward, but to sum up, I asked her out. And then, for some crazy reason, she said yes. That girl's name is India, or as you guys might know her, Neon Cascade. We started dating for about a month. It was pretty bad because one of her friends walked up to me with a note. It was very long, and by the end of it, my heart was broken, because she broke up with me. And I was very upset after that, because she made me happy. And now I was not happy, I was very sad. It's my sad face. It's me crying, I think. After that, I started spiraling off into even more depression and cutting like crazy. Granted, I never cut very deep, but I cut a lot, and I never really told anyone about it, because I didn't want to burden anybody. And then, a couple months later, when I was in track, I started dating a girl named Haley, and basically what happened is at some track meet I kissed her, and then after that we were dating. It was kind of a lame story, but whatever. And we dated for about a month, and at that point I was pretty good friends with India, who I had dated before, and I still really liked her a lot, actually. I was in love with her, as corny as it sounds. And I really wanted to be with her, but I didn't think she wanted to be with me. Then India and I started talking on the Facebook on a regular basis. Then there was a point in April that she said that she really liked me. And I wasn't sure what to do, because I was with a girl already. And then after a couple weeks of deciding the pros and cons, India had I think 9 pros, and 1 con, and the con was that she had a dad. So then Haley, she had 3 pros and 7 cons, I think. So I broke up with her, and then I got together with India again, and I was happy. I was very excited because I got to be with who I wanted to be with. Then a couple months later, her and her parents started getting along with me. We were all really tight, and India and I always got along really well. We've never really had a serious argument. And then I started getting really close with her parents. Her mom wasn't taller than me in real life, but it was funny because spending so much time with them like I did, because I spent all of the time with them that I could, it made me feel like I had a normal family, and I was happy about that because that was something that I didn't really have because my family was divorced, and divorce really sucks. But yeah, so we felt close, and then I wound up converting to Christianity because they took me to a Christian concert, and I wound up converting. And then later on, Andy and I were in a youth band together at the youth group that we went to, and we were super excited about that because I don't know why actually. India played drums and I played guitar and did lead vocals most of the time, and yeah, it was pretty cool because I got to do what I always wanted to do, which was play with a band. So another thing for me to be happy about. Yay! That's my happy drawing of myself. Here's a quick guitar for you. I'm not an artist. But yeah, the youth band thing was cool. We had a few members actually. We changed members a lot. But after a while of being so heavily involved in the church, I started really rethinking my life because I realized I was against gay marriage. And one thing I was always putting down was I always said that it wasn't natural, and I always said that it was wrong, and that that's not how God intended it. And then after a while, I started thinking, who cares? That was for me a very big problem, and I didn't understand why being gay was actually wrong. I just was told it was wrong. So I thought that was not okay, and I came to this realization about this past summer actually. And now I go to church with India still sometimes because she's still a Christian. But now I'm an agnostic atheist. And what that means is that I believe that there could be a God, because that's what God looks like, or there could be no God. Since there's really no way to prove either theory, I just am an agnostic atheist. And that's just what I believe. And yeah, so I came to that realization over this past summer. And also in this past summer, I experimented with a lot of stupid stuff. I started smoking weed with my friends, and then now I don't mess with it anymore. I don't think it's a smart thing to do. I think it's a waste of time, because all you really are is just tired and hungry. And what's the point of that? If I wanted to be tired and hungry, I could just not eat all day and wait until I'm really tired at night and stay up till like 1 in the morning. But yeah, I did that for a couple months, and I moved on. And now I'm trying to save up. Now India and I are still together, and we get along just fine regardless of our religious beliefs because we're accepting of one another. And I'm accepting of pretty much everybody. I don't really care who you are, just so long as you're nice to people, you know? And I think that's a pretty fair way to live. And now I'm actually pretty content. I'm really excited because I get to do YouTube. And YouTube is something, it's my dream to make a career out of it, and I'm really hoping it'll go well. And that I can get somewhere with it because it's something I really enjoy. I love entertaining, and I really like being able to entertain you guys, because you guys are my favorite people, because you guys make me feel like I matter. It's like now I have a purpose. And I don't think I'm ever going to get popular on YouTube, but at least I know that you guys are there, and I can always entertain you guys. And I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you. That is my life so far. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.